Hi, I'm John. I'm a tutor at Point Blank, and I teach the Deep House course. I teach mixing dance music in Ableton and Cubase. I've worked with Channel 4, BBC, Sony, Patrick Wolf, and record labels like Cookshop Records, Sony BMG. So my dad got me listening to like Pink Floyd when I was quite young, and a lot of 60s stuff, and yeah, it sort of opened up my ears really to that sort of sound. Like how different music could be. It got my sort of imagination going. So and then made me cassettes and stuff, and I just listened to like Pink Floyd on repeat, basically. I was never really DJing very much. I used to play a bit of sort of acid jazz back in the day, but mainly it was sort of like growing up on a lot of hip hop, a lot of Daisy Age hip hop and stuff like that, and the production like Tribe Called Quest and things like that, and just thinking, wow, you know, you can just mix these 2 or 3 sources together and create a track. So yeah, so then got a sampler and sort of got into it. It's more of a music production thing for me, yeah. I got up to grade 2 piano, but that was it. I just thought, now I've got a sampler, I don't, you know, I can make whatever. At college, I was doing art, and they had a Windows 95 like PC there. I think it was a Windows 95, because it had a like, floppy disk for Cubase Lite, and you'd stick it in and it would boot up. And then you could move these little blocks around that you made. So you just like jam a few notes and then sort of loop it and stuff like that. And then I thought, right, I'm going to give this a go. Music production is all self-taught. Yeah, there wasn't YouTube back then, so you had to like look through the manual and, you know, sort of read it. And yeah, there were no tutorials in manuals as well. So you'd have like a Akai S2000 book like that, and you'd have to think, right, how do I do this? You know, so you'd persevere basically, and then sort of yeah, come up with something really. Generally, especially with the Ableton courses, like the standard is really high, kind of always. I think a lot of people kind of go on YouTube, look at little mini tutorials and stuff like that, and they come already sort of armed. So you're kind of teaching them something and they actually know more of the basics than you think. So you sort of have to jump ahead and then, you know, bring in different sort of techniques and stuff like that. But yeah, generally just like really keen, you know, like they're all adults, they're all paying for a course at their own pocket. So, you know, just try and help them get as much as they can from it, really. I think people are trying to make apps and stuff that are, well, there is some, aren't there, sort of animation and stuff that you kind of move different things and it's kind of intuitive and all the rest of it. So synthesis is getting more interesting as well, like different waveforms, combining different types of synthesis together. And the analog side as well, like little kits that you slot together, you know, like Korg and stuff. That side of it's really interesting, because I think the analog sound is still really, you know, great. So, and people are always striving to get that. So I think if you've got performances in more and more of these little bits, I think we'll see more of that. Access to music making is very easy. I think you could create a tune very easily that someone would think, wow, that's great. And all you've done is put in samples from a sample CD and warp them or whatever. So it's kind of like, you know, you've got to try and see past that. And also, I think if you put a lot of effort in and you combine analog and digital and you really work at it, you'll create something, you know, really good. So, but it's a different way into it. Like I was saying, like with a sampler and a, you know, Windows 95 PC, you're really limited, but that limitation pushes you to make something really interesting. Whereas if you've just got loads of samples and loads of plugins, you know, kind of where do you start? I mean, I think I would find it different if I was starting now. It'd be a different way of getting into it, you know, wouldn't be so obvious, I think.